Now to the GOP, and lots being said about Donald Trump and how whenever his wife and his daughter are around him and on the sides, have you seen that? He seems a little more softer and more personable. So would keeping them around at campaign events help Mr. Trump woo female voters? Joining me now, two females. Amy Holmes, former speechwriter for former Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist, and Leslie Marshall in town today, Fox News contributor, syndicated radio talk show host of The Leslie Marshall Show. Well, it's good to talk to two women about this, right?
Indeed.
So does it make a difference when he has these, well, let's say beautiful women or any women surrounding him? Does it give this sort of subliminal kind of message that women like him?
Certainly, it's helpful for Donald Trump to have Melania and Ivanka and even the grandkids around because it personalizes him, it humanizes him, and it helps him connect with voters as an ordinary person. All politicians do it. They wheel out their families to, create that impression with voters. But is it going to make the big difference in getting women to vote for him? No. He needs to address policy because, as I say, we women, we think with our brains, not our gynecology.
Well, I like that. And he's got some work to do, Leslie, because recent polls, 69% of women rate him negatively. Another analysis about this whole idea of having his family around him, though, was that he seems to temper the way in which he speaks when he has his wife and his daughter and daughter-in-laws around him. Maybe that's a subconscious thing for him, too, so it makes him not attack as much. Is that a reason why he should have them with him at all times?
No, because I mean, if you look at when it's usually most of the time, not all, but most of the time they're with him. It's hey, I just won.
Right.
I just won Indiana. It's hey, let's have a celebration, but not when it's attacking the opponent. And the opponent he's going to be attacking next, we all know, is a woman. So I don't think having the women flanking him is going to make a difference there. I think actually having his wife and daughter out to speak at events on his behalf would be good, but. Trump's not known for being, warm and fuzzy, for his diplomacy. And what he says and has said in the past with women is not going to be forgotten by women who are looking at, is it going to be him or Hillary they cast their vote for? And I agree with you regarding policy.
Yeah, a lot can change, though. I mean, we've got 10 weeks to go before a lot of stuff's going to happen, or even more before the general election. Let's move on to this because I want to make sure to get in these 5 states we've been talking about. Donald Trump, if he wants to beat Hillary Clinton in the general, USA Today says he needs to win 5 states. Here they are: Arizona, North Carolina, Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Leslie, let me start with you on this because some of these, Hillary Clinton is up by, just a tiny margin in some of these states right now. But what do you make of the fact that these are the states?
Well, first of all, when you look at just the demographics, I think that these states represent America in a sense, not just with the diversity in certain states like Arizona and Florida, but when you look at the workforce, like in Pennsylvania and Ohio, certainly there are white-collar workers, but there are blue-collar workers. There are union workers, there are non-union workers. And honestly, I think Ohio and Pennsylvania is where Trump has the best bet, and he's got to win, we all know, Ohio to be president. Because she does not do as well with some of those blue-collar workers, and they look to him for jobs, especially if they're not union. And they also look to him with regard to trade, or angry with her or align her with Bill Clinton and blame her for former trade deals that he has made in the past. But I don't think he's going to do well. I don't think he's going to do it in Arizona or Florida. Today, the polls, she's up by a lot more in North Carolina because of the diversity of those states.
Okay, but Amy, the interesting thing is that Pennsylvania has not gone GOP in a general presidential election since 1988. And what's fascinating to me is that a lot of those blue-collar voters that Leslie was talking about, they used to support Hillary Clinton when she was going up against Barack Obama. Now they're pretty much going over for Trump. So can he win these states?
I think there's a possibility, and Leslie, I agree with all of the points that you've made. Hillary does not do well with those working-class, blue-collar voters, particularly white males. And Donald Trump, he's had a message that resonates about those jobs being shipped overseas, about trade disadvantaging the United States, and it's working. But I would also say Donald Trump, in those states like Arizona, while there's a Republican governor there, and in Florida, there's also the Latino population that has very high disapprovals for Trump. So I think this is going to be a roller coaster of an election, a roller coaster of a ride, and I don't think we can make any predictions. Just yesterday, I was talking with a Democratic strategist, campaign vet, who worked on Democratic presidential elections in 2000, 2004, and he even said he thought New York could be up for grabs.
Well, yeah, and ironically, they're both from that. It's her new state, but they're both from that. And you said the smartest thing that I've heard all day, which is there's no way that we could possibly know
there's
right
no
now.
way.
Right? At least all 3 of us, I think, agree on that.
Yeah.
Thanks much.
Thanks, Gretchen.